Okay. So yesterday we started normalization. Okay, no? And I think first normal form and second normal form, some definition we discussed in the last class. Yes or no? So now, so come to your fully dependency. Okay, no? So second normal form, what it was second normal form here. Uh, when your table be in the second normal form, table should be satisfied first normal form technique. And second one, there should not be partially dependency columns. There should not be partially dependency columns. And what is dependency? We discuss here. Suppose non-primary key columns when it was linked, or else it was linked with a primary key column, or else it is depends on a primary key column. Then these all columns are called as a fully dependency columns we call, because every student name open every student name, every branch name of student, address of the student, everything will be linked with the student ID. So that means your complete student details are, it depends on student ID I can fetch. So that means your all details are depends on or linked with the student ID. So in this kind of situation, with one column, the remaining data when you want to fetch, so that kind of situation is called as what now? Fully dependency columns are we called. So these are all are fully dependency. So fully dependency columns, if it was there in the table, I don't want to do any modifications. Okay, I just carry forward into next level. Okay, but in case your table is having partially dependency columns, partially means what now? Not supporting full-fledged. It was supporting only half of them. So for example, you can say, what is partially dependency? Means that in a table, if non-key column means non-primary key column. So non-primary key column depends on the part of key column. It's not key column, it's a part of key column. Okay, when a non-primary key columns are depends on, it's a part of key columns, then we called as what now? Partially dependency we called. So now, for example, can you see? There are total 4 columns I designed here. The total 4 columns I designed here. Out of 4 columns, can you observe? My column A comma B, I was applied what now? Primary key. And we already discussed in the constants, when we applied your primary key on multiple combination of columns, the type of constants are called a composite constants we called. So your 2 column, that is called a composite, otherwise, we called as your table level constant we called. So now here, come to A comma B is both are primary key columns. C comma D both are non-primary key columns. So then what it was saying here, if C comma D are non-key columns, then D depends on B but not A. C depends on B but not A. D depends on A but not B. C depends on A but not B. So that means in primary key columns, if any one column will be dependency and other column should not be dependent. So if that kind of column, if any was there in your table, then those columns are called as what now? Partially dependency columns we called. Okay. For simple your understanding, for example, in a family, when the children are having father and mother, okay, na, in a family, the children are having father and mother, then those children are called a fully dependency children. If in a family, children are having only mother, there is no father. Only father, there is no mother. Then it is called a partially dependency. Simple logic. Okay, now don't confuse. What is a partial dependence means? Any one parent is there. If it is father there, there is no mother. Mother is there, but there is no father. So that means children are depends on any one person. The children are depending on parents. That which one? Father. If there is no mother, then these are depending on only father. That means it is called a partially dependency. In some families, children are completely depending on mother. There is no father. Then it is also called a partially dependency. But the children are having both of them. Parents, that means father is there, mother also there in a family, then those children are called a fully dependency. This is the meaning of that partial and fully. Now clear all of you now? Right. So now come to here one of the table, carefully observe. Score is my table. And in this table, they have a 4 columns. Out of 4 columns, the first 2 columns I applied a composite primary key. So that means the first 2 columns are which type of columns? Primary key columns. And marks teacher, these 2 columns are non-primary key columns. Okay now? Non-primary key. That means non-primary key means what now? Non-key columns. So now you just observe. Marks is always depends on both of them. Because when you get a marks, you need a student as well as a subject. So student and subject, the marks column depends on both columns, student ID column and a subject ID column. Because students are writing examinations to get a marks on particular subject. So marks is depends on both columns, student ID as well as subject ID. So when marks column is depending on both the primary key columns, okay, then it is called a fully dependency, we called. But whereas come to second one, you can see. What is the second one? Teacher. Teacher is depends on student or subject? Subject. So teacher is never depends on student. Student is teacher is always depends on subject. Okay now, so that means student ID, subject ID both are primary keys, but teacher column is depends on only subject but not a student, because subject is a permanent for the teacher, but student is not a permanent. So now tell me, now teacher is a fully dependency column or partially dependency? Partially dependency. Suppose you will be find if any column is like that in your table designing phase, then the type of columns, if anything you found, then those columns I need to separate. Separate means what I want to do on this table? Decomposing I have to perform. So that means this one table score table data, now I want to split into 2 tables. And one table, you can keep it your fully dependency columns. In another table, you can separate partial dependency columns. Okay now? So now I'm going to separate here. This table I will be divided into, okay, 2 tables I'm dividing. First table separately subject table. In this I'm keeping subject ID, subject name and teacher. Another table is called as a score table, student ID, subject ID, marks. Now tell me, now in these 2 tables, now you found any partially dependence column? In subject table, do you have any partial dependency? No, because subject ID, if you treat it as a primary key, then subject name and a teacher, both are depends on what is a subject ID. So there is no partially. And composite here below score table also can see marks are depends on both of them. So here also no partial dependency. So that means now in these 2 tables, there is no partially dependency columns. So that means now these 2 tables are comes under second normalization form. Okay, so second normalization form, what it was concluded that in your table, if any partially dependency columns are, if you found, those columns will separate and keep into another separated table. That's it. And your table should not contain partially dependency columns. This is second rule is going to be telling us. And this rule is also in real time, the database people first checking. First rule is 4 conditions are checking. After checking of first 4 rules, then after checking any partial dependencies are there or not there. If it is there, decomposing If it is not there, then it is not going to be decomposed. Okay, na? So this is what second technique will be telling us. And come to the third technique. What it was tell us the third technique now. Third technique is also, suppose your table, your table want to satisfy the third level, the third hierarchy or third form. If you want to satisfy, again your table should satisfy two conditions. One is a your table should be in the second normal form. Second normal form, what it was tell us, there is no partially dependency columns. And extra, what extra we need to satisfy here? And it should not have transitive dependency columns. What is the latest technique here? Transitive dependency columns. So that should not be have it here. So now the question is, what is a transitive dependency, sir? Okay, na? First definition understand. Transitive dependency is nothing but in a table, if non-key column means non-primary key column depends on non-key column. So a non-primary key column depends on another non-primary key column. Understand na? A non-primary key column depends on another non-primary key column. Okay, non-primary key column, then we called as what now? Transitive dependencies. So non-primary key, non-primary key. If these two columns are dependency to each other, then the columns are called as what now? Transitive dependencies we called. So now the transitive dependencies, okay, now careful observe. A, B, C, D, these are the four columns. In this A comma B are called a key columns. Key columns means primary key column. C comma D are non-key column. Then D depends on C but not A and B. A and B what? Primary key. So your C don't depend on A and B. Your C depends on only D. Okay, or D depends only C but not A and B. So that kind of columns are called as a transitive. Now you are careful observe, don't hurry, think practically and tell me. Suppose your same score table, previously whatever I'm taking. Student ID, subject ID, both are composite primary keys. Both are primary key columns. Non-primary key columns are marks, examination name, total marks. And marks column, definitely it was depends on both of them. Then this is called a fully dependency column. It is a fully dependency column. I just leave it that. Remaining two columns are with that examination name and total marks. So examination name is, of course, it's depending on again both student ID and subject ID. So that is a fully dependency. But whereas come to total marks. Now tell me, total marks depends on where? Marks are or examination names are? Think carefully. Your subject total marks. Your marks means what now? Your obtained marks. But I wanted what now? Total marks. Total marks are you consider as your obtained marks or as you written examinations marks? Examinations marks consider as a total marks. Out of the total marks, what your marks obtained? For example, 10th class. In Telugu states, 10th class people, they're writing almost 11 examinations. They're writing 11 examinations. Now it was there now? Now changed, na? Now only 6, huh? But in starting level, the 4 to 5 years back, I think so. So they're writing how many? 11 exams. 11 exams, how they're writing here? Maths 1, Maths 2. Paper 1, Paper 2. So 2 examinations total marks. That means 2 examinations marks will be added. Then they will give a final total marks. So Paper 1 50, Paper 2 50. Then what is your mathematics total marks? 100. In out of 100, what you obtained, that is your marks. Yes or no? Like in 10th class, total marks is how much? 600? In Telugu state, I'm telling. 600? 600. 600 is the total marks of your 10th board. Yes or no? 10th board total marks 600. This 600, how they calculated? With the total 11 examinations. 11 examinations marks will consider as a total marks of your 10th board. Understand now? So nowadays you can see competitive examinations. In competitive examinations also, preliminary mains are there. Yes or no? Preliminary examination marks and mains examination marks both considered as a total. In that total, what you obtained, that is your merit. That is your merit. So here tell me, now total marks is not depends on marks, is not depend on subject, is not depend on student. It's a depending on what now? Examination name. Examination name. I think you also in BTech, you have a external exams, internal exams. Yes or no? Theory, practical. Theory 75, practical 25. In some subjects I'm telling now. Yes or no? Suppose in your semester, for example, BTech first year, first semester, total how many subjects? 6? 6? In out of north, out of also, how many? 6 semester. Okay, 6 or 5 or something. 8 semesters. Not 8 yet. BTech, 8 semester. In first year, first semester, how many subjects? 6? 6 subjects. Total marks how much? I'm not asking your total marks. Your semester total marks. 600? So, I think in first semester you don't have any external internal. Have it? And I think it is a common, I think so. Second semester onwards, you have external exams and internals. Are you doing external internals? The both the external plus internal is combination. We called it total marks of subject now. Yes or no? So your total marks will be considered as your examination. Okay na? But here observe, total marks is a non-primary key. Examination is also non-primary key. But total marks is not depending on these things, but it is depending on your exams. So that means here, total marks is called a transitive dependency column. Yes, because it depends on one of the non-primary key column. So now what happened, this is transitive dependency columns. When you find like this, definitely here also I want to implement a normalization technique. What is the technique? Divide into two tables. See, normalization means only mainly required decomposing, dividing your table data into multiple tables. That's called a normalization. So now, okay, now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to divide it. Again, two tables I divided. In one first score table, as usual, I kept a student ID, subject ID, marks as usual. And another table I created, examination name and total marks. And both the tables are making a relationship with the one common column that is called what? Examination ID. So now you can see in this table, marks is depending on both of them. Both of them means it is a fully dependency. Fully dependency means it is a second normalization satisfied. Next, there is a no transitive dependency columns. So first normal satisfied, second normal satisfied, third normal also satisfied. Come to examination table. Examination table, examination ID is a primary key. Examination ID primary key means automatically examination name and total marks will be linked with the examination ID. Yes or no? So that means here what happened? First normal satisfied. Second normal also satisfied because there is a no partially dependency columns. All are fully dependency columns. And the third one is also satisfied because there is no transitive dependency now. Because of reason your examination name and total marks will linked with the primary key construct. So that means these both are depends on primary key. So that means Transitive means what now? Non-primary key depends on non-primary key. But your non-primary key depends on primary key. So that's why there is no transitive dependencies. Okay, na? This is what the third normalization technique. But actually, in real time, these all techniques are verified by your databases people, not Java.NET people. So database people, they are verifying each and every table with these 4 techniques or 6 techniques. And after that, they will be finalizing this table, and this table they will give to Java student, or Java developer, or .NET developer, or Python developer. They will give it. Based on those tables, you are going to be started your designs, front-end forms, UI forms. You can go to design. So that means in the projects, first designing is started from backend. So backend database, once they perfectly designed and finalizing the tables, those tables are giving to front-end developers like you people, UI, Java, .NET people. These .NET table people, so whatever the finalized tables are given by database people, based on that, they started their registration forms, they started their login forms, they started their what we call the view forms. Okay, na? So change password forms, that all you can go to design and writing your Java code. If you are Java project, you are writing Java code. .NET people are writing C#.NET code. Okay, na? So this is what database backend people will be verified. And where it was verified here, not at implementation level, it was verified at designing levels. That means the table designing levels only, one by one table designing levels only, the database people will checking these all techniques. These all techniques are checking, and finally one table will come, and that table we will hand over to developers. And developers, what they will do, then they are going to started implementations. Practical implementations are they started. That's why a project can have a number of tables. Okay, as per client requirement, how many tables we required here, that many tables are they are going to be designing and checking their normalization techniques. Then they finalized. After that, those finalized table informations sending to developers. Then developers will started their practical implementation. That means creating their tables. Okay, na? So later they were making relation, where to where relation, which column relation, that all it was given in the use case diagrams like that. So based on that, you can go to implement. So that's why normalization is not at the implementation level. Is it completely at a designing level, analysis level, it will be used. Okay, now? So now every technique is having one particular reason. The technique related reason, columns are anything is there in the table, check it. If it is there, separate. If it is not there, carry forward. That's it. Okay, now? Now we can come out. Next one. Boys code. Boys code normalization form. What it was tell us, can you see? If your table satisfied boys code normal form, your table should satisfy a third normal. Can you identify here every normalization? If you want to satisfy, means the previous normalization also satisfied. Yes or no? So second, if you need to go for, then first satisfied. Third, you need to go for, then second satisfied. Then boys code, if you want to satisfy, then third satisfied. So that means every technique will having some hierarchy, link. Okay, now directly you can't go to check boys code. Directly you can't go and check fourth normalization form. How you want to check your normalization techniques? From the first after, second after, third after boys code, then fourth, then fifth. This is the hierarchy. So this hierarchy pattern only your tables will be verified. But it is not like the starting, can I check into boys code, means you can't go for like this. It's a one step-by-step process. You need to verify and check all the normalization techniques are satisfying or not. So now come to, okay, boys code. Boys code, what it was say, it should be in the third normal form. First thing, third normal form means what? No transitive dependency columns. Okay, next what it was happen, for any dependency A to B, that means A depends on B, then A should be super key. Here now some new technique is came. What is the new technique? Super key. See, every form is having one technique. Understanding now? So here it was asking super key. So what it was telling, first of all, your table should not contain any transitive dependency columns. First thing. That first check it out. Okay, not there. Not there means third normalization satisfied. Next, what I want to check, if any column, it's a non-key, non-primary key, primary key, none of the matter. But is there any column? If it is depends on another column, then dependency column must be super key. Suppose I depends on you, then I am the super key. Understand? Not you super key. I am the super key. Suppose you depends on me, then you are the super key. So that is I want to check. But sir, before I need to check A should be a super key na, or A is a depends on B, then A is a super key or not. How to check here? First we should know the meaning of what is a super key. Super keys are how you know to find out. How I can say this column is a super key column in my table. So that is first you should know some idea. Then you can understand this concept. So that's why what I'm giving here, I'm giving some definitions. Careful observe. Here two definitions remember. Super key, candidate key. Super key, what it was, which type of column is called as a super key column. Now you can check. A column or combination of columns. It means either single column, otherwise combination of columns. Columns which are uniquely identifying either single column or combination of columns which are uniquely identifying a row in your table, then that column is called as a super key. Either individual column, if it is identify each and every row with uniqueness, then those individual columns are called a super keys. If any two columns also identifying your row with uniqueness, then the combination of two columns also called as a super key. Understand na? So this is what the definition of a super key. What it mean? Careful observe. This is our table. Student ID, the student table. Student ID, name, branch, mail ID, and registration number. These are the some columns I taken. So now I want to check out of 5 columns, which columns are super key columns, which column is a non-super key column. First identify. But super key column, how I need to identify? In that column, whatever the values are there, those values are identifying the row with the uniqueness. Unique means different way. Okay, the type of any column is there or column values are there, then that column comes under super key column. Okay, first observe. Student ID, first I will go to individual. Every individual column I am checking. First student ID. Now in student ID column, whatever the values are there, 101, 102, 103, 104. Now tell me, each and every row, how many rows? 4 rows. Each and every row is identified with a different number, same number, different number. So that means, do you have any duplicates? No. So that means this column is called as a super key. Understand na? Next. What is the next? Name. Can I say name is a super key? No, because in my classroom, there are 2 students' names are having same. That kind of chances are there. So that is not a super key. Next. Branch you can see. Branch is a super key? No, because there is a chance the both users or both students are same branch. So this is also not super key. Next one. Mail ID, super key. Because every student mail ID is a unique. Yes or no? Your mail ID, my mail ID is matching a? No, never. You have a crores of people, but every user ID is a different. So that means this is called as what now? Super key. Next, registration number. Every student registration number different na? Definitely. So here also super key. Yes. Now tell me, in this table, how many super key columns are found? 3. So how you can say means each and every column of each row value will be identified with the uniqueness, with the different values. So that's why student ID is one of the super key column. Mail ID is one of the super key column. Registration number is also one of the super key column. This is one thing. Second one is what now? Careful of this. Very simple. Any super key column or any two super key columns combination will become a super key. Remember. So a super key plus a super key will become a super key only. Let me see. Is it or not? Suppose this is one super key column plus this is one super key column. These two super key columns, once you combine the data, tell me, do you have any duplicate? Huh? No. Each and this combination also identifying a row with uniqueness. Huh? Yes or no? Yes. So that means student ID plus mail ID is also called as a super keys. Now in the same pattern, can I say like this? Mail ID with a combination of registration number. Now check it out. Is there any duplicator or everything is a different? Different. So that means, can I say it is a super key? Yes, it is also. Same as a registration number with the student ID. These two combination you can check. Can I say super key? Yes. So that means what you understand? A super key column plus a super key column will always become a super key only. That is a rule. And now we can see, that's why I'm giving here. See, every individual column, STID, mail ID, registration number, individually, everything super key. Any two combination is also super keys, or three combination is also super key. So super key plus super key plus super key is equals to super key. So two or more than two super key columns will become a super key only. That is super key definition. Okay, now? So that means finally conclusive what now? Super key is nothing but that column should not contain any duplicates. Each and every value should be different. When you maintain different values in your columns, then that column is called as what now? Super key columns. Okay. That is super key. But what is candidate key, sir? Candidate key, careful observe. A minimal super key, minimal means least one. Minimal super key which is uniquely identifying a row in a table is called as a candidate key. So every minimal or least super key column is called as a candidate key. Okay, it means what now? Here observe. Here student ID super key plus mail ID super key plus registration number super key. This is how many columns we added? 3. This is not a minimum. That means it is not a candidate key. Here 2. The two combination columns. This is also not a candidate key. But every individual super key column is also called as a candidate key. Understand? Na? Is also called as what now? Candidate key. So that's why here you can see candidate keys are student ID, mail ID, registration number. So individually candidate key, but combination not. That's why what I'm saying here I'm fine. A super key which is subset of another super key is called as a candidate key. But the combination of super keys are not become a candidate key. Super key plus super key is equals to super key. But super key plus super key will not become a candidate key. Understand na? So that means every single super key is also called as a candidate key. That's why every individual super key we can call as a candidate key also. This is super key, candidate key differences and definitions. Now we can come out. Here observe carefully. Boys code normal form. Here carefully read. So college enrollment table. Here student ID, subject ID, professors. Student ID, subject, both are composite primary keys. Composite primary key means both combination. You can check both combination. Both combination, your student subject, both combination, both are primary keys. Primary key means what now? There is no duplicates. There is no duplicates means, now you can see, careful observe, don't confuse. 101 Java combination, 101 C++ combination, 102 Java, 104 Java, 103 Oracle. So here, don't consider as a individual columns. Here the mistake observed. Don't compare individually. Why, sir, individually I don't want to check? Means that these two are not individual primary keys. These two are is called a combination of primary key. That's called a composite primary keys. That's a composite primary key means what now? On how many columns you applied your primary key, those two columns combinedly check your data, not individually. If you check individually, duplicates are there. That's why your logic will missing. That's why composite primary key, why I'm taking your, because these two combinationally check. Now check it out. Student ID plus subject. Is there any combination is repeated? Same technique I already explained to you. What is that composite unique? India versus Pakistan, India versus South Africa, India versus some New Zealand or somewhere. So India is playing how many countries? 3 countries. Playing with 3 countries, but 3 matches are unique matches, or any repetition of match? Unique matches. India Pakistan is a unique match. India Australia unique match. India South Africa unique match. So both are 3 different matches. This is unique. This is unique. This is also unique. Different matches. But is there any themes are repeated again? No. Okay. So that means what I am saying? This pair, this pair, this pair. 3 are different pairs. That means different means what now? Unique. Unique pairs. Not duplicate pair. Duplicate pair means what now? India Pakistan again played India Pakistan. So India Pakistan first match, India Pakistan second match. That this is called what now? Repetition of the pair. Then it is called as a duplicate pair. Okay na? So here also combination you can check. 101 Java is a different combination. 101 C++, that is a different combination. 102 Java different. 103 Oracle different. 104 Java different. So that means these are called as what now? Super keys. Combination, not individual. So combination of columns are identifying a row with the uniqueness. That's why these two are called as what now? Super keys. But can you see professor is there? Professor is super key? Check it out. No, because your professor Java duplicate. So your duplicates are allowed. Allowed means that this is not a super key. But problem is what now? This is a non-super key. But this professor depends on what? Subject. But subject is a one of the super key. So professor is a non-super key, but professor depends on subject, but unfortunately subject is a super key. But as per Boy's code normal form, what it was telling us, if A depends on B, A means who? Professor. Here I'm giving A. Professor. Professor depends on B. Then who will be super key? A. But here A is a super key, No. It is a non-super key. So that means that this rule is not satisfied. So then what I want to do? Reverse. I make it reverse. How to make it reverse here? You can see. So professor separate table. In this professor ID, professor subject. Now you can see what I did here. Professor ID, professor is a primary key. Subject is a non-primary key. Non-primary key means subject will accept duplicates. Yes or no? Yes. And now we can see, suppose if I'm inside, combination you can see because both are composite. So 1 P Java, 2 P C++. Do you have any duplicate? No. But here also, sir, here also not there, not duplicate. Then this is also super key, na? Some doubt is coming out. But now you can see. I'm going to insert third record. 3. Professor Java. Allowed? Check carefully. 3. Professor Java, I'm telling. Allowed? Yes, because already Professor Java is there. But this Professor Java ID number what? 1. Now, so this Professor Java ID number 3. That means the both professors are same or different? Different. So now, but one Professor Java, 3 Professor Java, both are teaching Java subject. Possible? In Naresh IT only they're like that. So many faculties are teaching Java subject. HKs are teaching Java. Kishans are teaching Java. Venkatesh are teaching Java. Manasanis are teaching Java. This is a different. .NET is a different name. But same subject teaching multiple faculties, sir? Yes. But that means these multiple faculties are any duplicator? No. HK sir style. Kishan sir style. Yes or no? Venkatesh sir style. But I can't say these 3 people are teaching same subject. But their IDs are different now. So here also same. See, Professor 1 Java, okay, teaching what now? Java. Professor 3 also teaching Java. It means that these are not duplicates now. These are uniques. But this is duplicate now. Yes. So that means this is a super key? No. So now this is a non-super key. And professor is what now? Super key. Now professor is a super key because it's a part of a primary key. So that's why now professor depends on subject, but professor is what now? Super key. This is what now? Voice code normalization form we call. So these are the 4 techniques, guys. Here it's a must and should be the people are verified. Okay, just verified. If it related things are there, they're doing some modifications. If it is not finding any rule, then it will be carry forward. Okay, right. But these 4 are commonly the people will be first check. Okay. Then after, what is 4 and what is 5, sir? These 2 are what I'm saying here optionals. These 2 techniques are either you check or not check, but your table will not affect anything. Okay, na? Because of reason what, sir? Let you come. 4th normalization, careful observe. This is optional, but we will see what is what. For a table to satisfy the 4th normal form, it should satisfy the following 2 conditions. One is it should be in the voice code normal form. If any dependency was there on other column, then dependency column must be super key. So that kind of things are should be maintained. And the second one is what? Now careful observe. New technique again. What is a new technique? A table does not contain more than one independent multiple or multi-valued attributes. Here attributes means columns. So multi-valued dependencies are not there in your table. So multi-valued dependencies, it means what, sir? Okay, na? Multi-valued dependency means what now? In a table, one column, same value. One column, same value will match or mapping with the multiple values of another column. Map with the multiple columns of another column. For example, you can see here college enrollment table. Student ID, course, hobbies. So now student ID is a one column. Is a one column. One column, same value. Yes or no? Same value? Same value. How many times mapping? One Oracle is a one mapping. One Java is one mapping. One C# is one more mapping. That means a single column of same value will mapping with the multiple values of another column. Is it correct? Yes or no? A single column of same value map with the multiple values of other column. Multiple values what now? Oracle, Java, C#. These are multiple values. Same value is what now? 1. 1 is the same value. So mapping now? Yes. If it is mapping, then this course column is called as a multi-valued column. That is one column. Again same as one mapping with the cricket, one mapping with the reading, one mapping with the hockey. So now again same value is mapping with the different values of another column. That means this is also called as what now? Multi-valued column. Now tell me in your table, how many multi-valued columns? 2. One is a course, one is a hobby. There are 2 multi-values column is there. But here, course and hobby, these 2 columns are having any relation? Having any relation? No. Because hobbies are different. Course is different. Course, hobby, is there any link? No. Both are different types of data. Both are different types of data. That means, can I say course is a one independent column? Hobby is called a one independent column. But these 2 columns data will never depending on to each other. Because hobby, course, there is no meaning. Understand or not? So that means the both are independent. Both are independent columns. Both are which type of column? Independent multi-valued columns. So that means in this entire table, how many independent multi-valued columns are there? 2. 2 or not? Entire this table. But as per the rule of fourth normalization, what it was telling? A table does not contain more than one independent multi-valued column. So that means what it was telling, if my table is having single multi-valued column, no problem. But my table should not contain more than one. But my table here contain more than one, course and hobby. Then what I want to do? So now I need to dispatch. Again, I have to decompose. How to decompose in here? Now we can see. Hobbies table is separate. Course opted table is separate. Now we can see in hobbies table, a single column, same value mapping with the multiple values of your hobby column. But here, how many multi-valued columns are there here? 1. In this table, 1 only there. So that means this is satisfied. Huh? Yes, my table should not contain more than 1. If 1 is there, nothing problem. More than 1 should not be there. So should not be there. Satisfied. Second one you can see, same as, same column, same number mapping with the multiple values. Here how many independent multi-valued? Again 1. So this is also satisfied. Huh? Yes. So the both are satisfied. 4NF. That's why I'm giving in the bracket 4NF and this is 4NF. Okay, now this is 4NF rule. But 5NF, what it was telling, careful observe. 5NF is quite opposite of 4NF. It means what? If a table having multi-valued attributes and also that table cannot decompose. Decompose means divide. What it was telling, cannot divide. Don't divide into multiple tables. Is called as what? Fifth normal. So that means what do you say? What do you say? Now, this table is having multi-valued columns. But don't divide. Don't divide means I want to keep as is. As is I'm keeping means this is which normal? Fifth normal. So this table when I divided, then it comes fourth normal. This table if I'm not divided, then it comes fifth normal. So division, not division, it's depending on your wish. Because if I divided, fourth normal satisfied. If I'm not divided, fifth normal satisfied. So that is the reason 4 and 5 is called as a optionals. Why the real-time people, these two techniques are not verified in their projects means because if you verified fourth, that means if you divide your normalization form or table, if you divided, multi-valued columns are divided, then it is called a 4NF. Multi-value columns are not divided, then it is called a 5NF. That's why this is a optional techniques we call. Understand na? So these are what now guys here normalization technique. So finally conclusion is what now? Every technique is having one solution for one problem. Yes or no? So first normal form common, that is common points. So that is leave it. Second normal form problem and solution. Problem is what now? Having partially dependency column. If you have a partially dependency columns, then decompose it. That is second normalization telling us. Third normalization also having some problem and solution. Problem is what now? Transitive dependency column should not be there. If it is there, decompose. Not there, keep it as it is. BC enough. Boys could what it was telling, if any non-primary key, if any column depends on another column, then dependency column should be super case. Okay now? This is BC enough. Next 4 is what now? Multi-valued. Either keeping 5, not keeping 4. So this is what now technique, and these all techniques are implementing at which level? Designing level. That's why can you see in the projects, anybody knows SDLC patterns? No, na? Software development life cycle. In this major 5 phases are there. Phase number 1, analysis phase. Okay na? Analysis. This is phase number 1. Next one is what now? Phase number 2. Just I'm writing normally. Okay, designing phase. Next, phase number 3. We are writing implementation or development. Phase number 4, we called a testing. Phase number 5 is called as a maintenance. These are the 5 major phases in software development life cycle. So any client requirement based on any technology of project. Suppose one client, they will approach your company. You are working in TCS, for example. So one client is there. This client is approaching to TCS company. What the approachment here? The client is saying that I have some requirements. As per my business, I have some requirements. These requirements, based on these requirements, please develop one website for my organization. Okay na? Then these requirements are hand over to whom? TCS. TCS project leads and team leads, the manager, project managers, they are dealing with the clients. So the client all requirements will be taking out. After taking, they will first what they will do? Analysis. Whether this client requirement is possible in this technology or not. Suppose your client is asking, my requirements will be fulfilled or developed by using of Java. They specifically mention. That means your project is Java related project. Suppose they mention .NET. You can use .NET softwares. Suppose they are using Python. Then you have to use Python software. So in which technology, in which platform the client requirements want to develop, that information client will tell you. So now what it was happened, in every technology, every requirement is not possible. Now. First you have to check or not. Yes or no? Yes, because every requirement, client is giving some requirement. If I committed without checking, I committed, then what is my problem? If I committed means must and should be do now. If I'm not doing means client will not give money. Yes or no? For example, if you go to any shop here, you're asking something, then he will say committed. Sir, tomorrow your vehicle is clean, sir, tomorrow I will give it. He committed. Then tomorrow we will go na? We will go means we are asking or not? And he was saying that, sir, ye nahi hoga. So what we will do? It is not possible, sir. When he was telling, after committed he was telling. Then what you are shouting na? Then it is not possible. Then why are you committed yesterday? Why you told me, sir, it will be this problem, I can solve it. But today you said, sir, this problem not solved, sir. So what happens? Some argument is happened now. That is 100 rupees, 200 rupees argument, or 10, 20 rupees we are come down and we are giving. Yes or no? And they will also accept it. So here also same like that. Client will not, suppose client project is 100 crores, but one requirement is not fulfilled. Then he will pay complete money? No. Definitely as their mistake. Whose mistake? Company mistake. Who taking that project handover? Those people mistake. The client will go to case on them. If you're not possible, why are you committed to me? If you committed, based on committed only, you're charged. Yes or no? You're committed and you charge how much? 100 crores. Then client is ready to give 100 crores. But you are not fulfill my requirement. So that's why what the people will do in real time. That's why a project development is not in 1 month, 2 months. That's why so many people to develop one project purpose, they're spending 2 years, 3 years, 5 years time. You know that? These money, what we can say, the people and time period. Okay, project is not possible to develop within 6 months. Within 1 year is impossible. At least minimum to minimum 3 to 4, 5 years. We need to fulfill complete requirements. So that's why one project, if you want to take from the client, means 5 years your job is guaranteed. If you take one project from the client, you got it one project from the client, then you fix that my company 5 years I can survey. My company happily survey without having any financial problem, because client will giving money. Client will investing money. That money I'm taking, I'm giving to my developers. Until up to how much? Project is completed. Project completed, we hand over to the client. So client will chala gaya. Then here software ka kaam nahi hai. So what kya karenge? The company people, what they will do? Immediately fire. आपका काम हो गया है, आप जा सकते हैं. Sir, what happened, sir? Because projects are not there. So projects are not there means there is no use of IT industry. Because IT industries are nowadays surveying based on what? Clients' projects only. Now USA affected. That's why India also not hiring students. Yes or no? Financial crisis in USA. USA related all countries are financial crisis. India almost 70 to 80% of projects are coming from USA. अरे उसी का पास पैसा नहीं है तो वो क्या देगा हमको? Yes or no? When that person is not having money problem, he is a money problem. How he will pay money to India? That is the actual reason. Financial crisis. That is the reason. India IT software. India's jobs are there. IT okay, good, in good position. But what now? Financial problems. That's why they are not hiring new students. If I want to hire a newcomer or new employee, definitely I have to pay some money now. That's what they're doing now. Existing people, now they're checking their performance. Okay, na? Re-verifying all the performances. Then they're going to be a candidate. I'm paying for the candidate 25 lakhs package. That means monthly how much salary? 2 lakhs. Almost a 2 lakhs salary I'm paying. But ye candidate performance is very poor. So what the company management will do? Then they will check it. This ka performance acha nahi hai. Isko tick maro. Then next day, after 1 week, 2 week, the manager will call and they say, you are in bench. So bench, what happened? They're selling bench. So immediately he will go to bench. Bench ka matlab kya hai? What is the mean by bench? Your job is no guarantee. There are, not there are, we don't know. In the tension only, some people will heart attack. Get a heart attack. Because family, every month 2 lakhs salary, suddenly 2 lakhs stop it. Family, bacha, everything is there. So you will get some mental pressure. That's why some people, what they will do, when they said bench means he will try to other company. Because immediately they want to move it. Is that no? So that is what. So money मेरा पास नहीं है तो मैं कैसे दूंगा आपको? That is actual IT industry. IT industry. That's why IT industry up to we have a projects na, we don't bother about our life. Our life बहुत अच्छे से चलेगा. Lakhs of salary they are giving. When the clients are not there, projects are stopping means इसको band बजाएगा भी. So what we want to do? Okay na? This is what IT field. That's why guys, IT field, how many years you are working? First, your target is save money. Don't go any. If you're getting 1 lakh rupees salary means At least 50,000 rupees, save it. Remaining 50, you can expenditure. Remaining 50, save it. Because this is the problem. Who saved amount na, he will get some happy life. He can lead his life a certain period of time because he have a saving amount. Suddenly job gone. Who will give it money? Yes or no? Then you are saving already, you saved na. At least you are saved in 10 to 15 years, you saved at least 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs, you saved bank balance. Na? Then that will be survey, the next level. Up to how much I can survey? Maximum 5 to 6 years I can survey. But in 5 to 6 years, I will get one more job or not? Definitely. So for at least 1 month, 2 month, 3 months survey purpose also I need some bank balance or not? That's why in IT job, now the situation I'm telling, if in future you will be get a job na, first your target is what now? Save some amount. Because don't feel IT job is a government job, permanent job, lifelong मैं करूँगा. Impossible. Everybody maximum lifetime of IT industry 15 years. You can ask to anyone. Maximum lifetime how many years? 15 years only. After 15 years, you must be dropped. Otherwise, you can go to any other business side. Otherwise, you want to establish your own company. This is nowadays the people are doing. There's three things only. They are dropping. Otherwise, they are going to shift into business side. Otherwise, they are creating their own company. That's called a startup company. As per this 15 years of experience, they are communicating with the clients. So, कुछ ना कुछ बकरा क्लाइंट हमारे हाथ में पड़ गया ना, हो गया, मेरा कंपनी स्टार्ट हो जाएगा अभी. ऐसा नो? That is what IT industry. That's why my intention is what now, as my experience I'm telling 15 years, once you got a job, 50 saving, 50 expenditure. Keep it like this and you work 5 years or 10 years or 15 years or then after you will be come down. Na? So you will be happy. And that saving amount 50 lakhs or 70 lakhs or 1 crore, that's your choice. Based on that, you can go to do some business at least. At least can put it 10 Pani Puri bandas. Pani Puri is a good business, na? Yes or no? Really, yeah. See, if you have it 5-10 lakhs na, एक एरिया में एक पानी पूरी, वहां पर एक पानी पूरी, यहाँ पर एक 5 और 10 लगा दो. हर पानी पूरी बंडी के साथ एक महीने एक दिन में 300 और 3 to 4 3000 to 4000 minimum amount. So at least all you can avoid expenditure, usko kuli, something you just give it at least per day. If you keep 1000 rupees, that is called a profit. All expenditure you can leave it and profit 1000. So 1000, 1000, 1000, 1000. Per day how much? 5000. 30 days? 1 lakh सॉफ्टवेयर बन गया ना. You're a software engineer ना, और क्या? 1,50,000 monthly salary यार. And you are the owner. You don't want to work under anybody. You are a dictator, ruler. और आपका नीचे 10 people जॉब कर रहा है. ऐसी 4-5 साल होने के बाद एक कार आ जाएगा, BMW कार. Actually, in Koti, you know, na Hyderabad. Koti bus stand is there in Women's College opposite, I think so. Koti Women's College opposite. When we studied, we're traveling na. I already explained my story. RTC bus pass traveling na. There one chaat banda was there, Pani Puri. Me and my friend every day, 7:38, some little bit 10 rupees, 20 rupees, we are eating Pani Puri. But daily we are going to like that, he will make a friend. The Pani Puri boy was a good friend for us. So when we go to there, भैया आ गया है, अच्छा आजा भैया आजा. और ये 10 रुपए को उस टाइम पे 10 actually 10. He was a daily regular customer. He was taking 12, 13, 14 extra. So like we are also. ऐसी friendship चलते चलते one day we asked, hey, what is this business good? And he told me like that, भैया Sir, you don't know this Warner. Okay, na? Initially, he was nothing, sir. Nothing. He was a normal guy. He started his business Pani Puri like ek year only. Koti started. Now he was within 5 to 6 years. He constructed one independent house in Hyderabad. Ek car also. And now this Pani Puri Banda that called whatever the shop is there, na? All over Hyderabad, he was having 120 branches in 5 years only. This is when he told me in 2005, 2004. So started with only one Pani Puri. Now after 5 years, total how many? 120. In all areas, business started. Profit. चलो वहां पर एक है, यहाँ पर एक डाल दो, यहाँ पर वहां पर. Like sir, what he was going to do every day night 10:30 11 o'clock he will come by car collecting money on that day. Today, hey, how much collection? Sir, 5,000 sir. ले लो your day का कूली. Remaining amount what tomorrow sir, this is okay, kach karo, 2,000 rupees, take it. Like 120 into 2,000 rupees, 2 lakhs 40,000. क्या life है यार? That is what in business. Okay, na? Right, guys? Okay, these are normalizations. And tomorrow we started PLSQ language. Okay, na? Right. You are also plan, huh? Plan it. Not now. After 10-15 years work in IT industry, then come to plan. Okay, na? थोड़ा bank balance होने के बाद आ जाओ. Right, guys? Thank you so much.